Poor bunny, I just ripped his ears off. Oh well. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are joining me for the first time here today. My name is Lucy, and as you can probably tell by the title and the thumbnail of the video, today I played around with the Morphe 35G palette and also the rest of the bronze collection that came with it, including the bronzers, the liquid highlighters, and also the lip glosses as well. So if you do want to see my final thoughts on the whole collection and see how I put it to use, then please do keep watching.
Credit, I ain't wasting all my time now. Yeah.
Okay, so I have just finished filling in my brows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe. It took me way too long and I'm just having a really bad brow day today, hence I didn't really talk you through it as I was filming it, but you probably have seen a sped up clip of me just doing my brows. Now I'm going to move on to the main focus, which obviously, as you can probably see by the title of the video and the thumbnail as well, is the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. Now I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit late to the party with this. I have had this package for now a month or two and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to review it for you guys or not, but I did ask on my live Instagram video yesterday if you guys wanted to see this, and a lot of you said you would really love to see it, so that's why I'm filming it today for you. So when you open up the side like so, we have got this beautiful packaging here, and you open it up and the first thing right on top is the 35G Bronze Goals palette. Now this is kind of the main focus of the whole collection, but I will show you in detail the palette a little bit more in just a sec. Now underneath the palette you can take out this middle compartment and we have got some more products underneath. So underneath, accompanying that palette in this collection, we have also got the Hot Tropic 5-piece lip gloss collection. There is 3 sort of bronzy shades, a really hot pink, almost orange toned pink, and then there's more of a nudie pink gloss in there as well. These all look really beautiful. We've also got 4 liquid highlighting drops down here at the bottom as well. I don't think Morphe have ever brought out liquid highlighting drops before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally have never seen them by Morphe anyway. And then down the side here, we have got 3 different face and body bronzers. So 2 of them here I have already used. You've probably actually seen me use these in a ton of videos already. I really like these bronzers. These ones are in the shade Icon and Megastar. These are the paler 2 out of the 3, and this one here, which is still in the packaging, is in the shade Phenom, but it is a very, very dark sort of shade, so that's why it's still in the packaging. It won't personally suit my skin tone, so I'm sure I'll be able to use it for something along the line. So yeah, that is the whole collection. I'm going to just talk you through the palette and then I'm going to jump right into the eyeshadows. So this right here is the 35G Bronze Goals palette. I really love the packaging on this palette. It obviously fits in with the theme of the bronzers and everything like that. All of the packaging ties in together, which is really nice. I have got to say, the one thing I don't like so much about the packaging is that it is made out of more of a cardboardy and kind of cheaper material, whereas some of their other palettes are made out of the sturdy, like plastic, what's the word I'm looking for? Plastic, you know, like the palette is made out of like plastic, so it's a bit more sturdier, but it's not such a problem anyway. So this is the palette. It ties in obviously very well with the name. It's 35G Bronze Goals, and there is a lot of bronzy and warm, beautiful summer tones in here. The majority of the palette is made up of shimmers, which is not really something I personally would look for in a palette. I'm more of a matte eyeshadow person. I do love a good shimmer from time to time, but definitely not a palette full of them. So if you're not such a shimmer eyeshadow lover, then this probably isn't the most ideal palette for you. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch just a couple of the shades for you. This one in the corner here is really screaming my name. It just looks like a really gorgeous ivory kind of champagne-y colour. That's really pigmented actually. I'm also going to go ahead and go for this pink one right here, this peachy shade, this olivey green. Actually, they are all really beautiful. They are so pigmented. The Morphe shimmer shadows are always really pigmented anyway, so I kind of knew that was coming. Anyway, let's get started on the eyes, shall we? So I'm going to go ahead and start by taking this dark brown shade, which is the name Toasted, and just running that all over my kind of crease area. I have no idea what look I'm doing in mind, which is, again, not really a massive shocker for any of my videos, but I'm sure we'll figure out something. So initially I am noticing that the colour is coming out very different on my eye to what it is in the pan. I'm just going to show you the colour I'm using. It's this colour right here, and it actually doesn't look as dark on camera as it does in the pan, but I promise you it's actually the second darkest shade in the palette besides the black, and it's just coming out quite light on my eye. I mean, it's not an awful thing, it is blending really nicely, but I just didn't realise it was going to be as light of a colour as that. So that's the shade Toasted laid down. I'm now going in with the shade Sandy, which is this one right here. It's like a lighter kind of beigey colour, and I'm just going to use that to blend it out.
Trust me, I'm patient. Oh no, look at the days, been low now.
So I'm just going to go in and deepen up my crease with the shade Equator, which is actually just a little bit darker than Toasted, which I used earlier. I might also dip into the black, which is the shade Deep End, which is obviously the black, like I just said.
Yes, I missed it. I feel like I'm solo, isolation, I'm the victim, and you ain't.
Now I'm going to go in with the shade Tantalize, which is a really nice dark brown kind of shimmer. It's quite rare to find a shimmer this colour with these type of undertones, so I'm going to pack that all over my lid, but focusing it mainly on the outer kind of skirts of where I'm placing it, if that makes sense, because I want to leave a gap in the middle to put a pop of shimmer.
I thought you were mine, but you had me twisted.
Okay, so I'm not sure how well you can see, but I'm having a tiny bit of a trouble actually getting it to show up. I know that's partially because I have got a dark brown eyeshadow on already, but the shimmer is just kind of not really picking up on the brush. I feel like this is one that's probably going to work better on your finger. In fact, let me try it on my finger to see if it's any different.
You got me waiting, oh no. Trust me, I'm patient, oh no.
Still's not doing the most. I mean, you can barely even see that that's a shimmer on the camera. What I have been doing recently with shimmers that have been being a little bit of trouble is I get the other end of my brush, kind of scrape it in, just scrape off the top layer and then pick up that dust with the brush, just because I find it's a little bit more pigmented than just getting it directly from the pan. And I think for my pop of colour, I'm going to go in with this beautiful orange shimmer shade right in the middle of the palette, which is called Summer Vibes. This one's just going to kind of go in the centre of my lid. So scratching off that product definitely has an impact on the pigmentation of it, because that first initial bit I put down is so pigmented. Actually, something I am going to do, which I should have done before putting that orange shade down, is just dab a little bit more of my Plouise base or any kind of concealer that you have, and just kind of dab it in the centres so it's got something to stick to.
Pray that I ain't wasting all my time. Hey. I thought you were mine, but
I'm also just going to take a slight bit of this pinky shade here, which is called Hotness, just because I'm a bit intrigued to see what the colour comes out like on the eye. So I'm going to do the same thing, just scratching off that top layer and then picking that up with the brush. Now, don't get me wrong, this is definitely not the best look I've ever created on my YouTube channel, but I didn't really know what kind of look I could have achieved with a palette with so many shimmers in it. You guys are probably used to me using so many rainbow palettes by now that this is a little bit different for me when I'm reviewing like a very neutral kind of shimmery palette instead.
But you had me twisted, searching for my lifelong love. I guess I missed it.
I do actually really like the shimmers once they've had the top layer scraped off, but I was having a bit of trouble with them before I did that. So when you just go in with the brush into the colour, it wasn't really picking up the way I wanted it to, hence I have been scratching off the first layer, and I do recommend doing that with these shimmers. I'm quickly going to go and put on some mascara and some false lashes, and I'll be back with you to do my face afterwards. Okay, I've put some lashes on. These are the Rouge and Rogue lashes in the style Chaos. Yes, the Luxe Faux Mink lashes in the style Chaos. And now I'm going to start on with my skin. So today I have got the Lsgmakeup Hydrating Primer. It's for moisturising, and I fake tanned last night. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit more bronzed. So my skin is feeling a little bit dried out from the tan, so this is going to be perfect for my skin before my foundation goes on. For my foundation today, I'm taking the Meek Makeup? No, I'm taking the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation. I really like this foundation, however I can only use it when I'm tanned because I got it in quite a dark shade. But I do really like the consistency of this. This, by the way, is in the shade Medium Light, which it most definitely is not light, but we had the same problem with the concealer if you've seen my review video on that.
But you had me twisted, searching for my lifelong love. I guess I missed.
For my concealer, I've been really enjoying the Lsgmakeup Lifeproof concealers recently. I got sent a bunch of different shades of these by Sleek, so thank you so much Sleek for that. And I've really been enjoying this concealer. I really like how big the tubes are. You get 7.4 milliliters of concealer in here, which is actually quite a fair bit. I don't know how much concealers normally have, but these are very, very big tubes and you get a lot in there. This one is in the shade 03 Cafe Au Lait, which is something milk, if I can remember correctly.
Guess I missed it. I feel like I'm solo isolation. I'm the victim and you ain't.
So before I go powdering my face, I'm actually going to go in with one of these shades of the liquid highlighters. For today, I think I'm going to go in with the shade Optic, which is a really beautiful sort of golden toned highlight. I'm never usually a fan of liquid highlighters, if I'm being completely honest with you. I just prefer to stick to powder ones because I can never seem to blend liquid ones correctly. But I'm going to give these a fair try today because they do look really pretty. So I'm just applying a little bit of that to the tops of my cheeks. Just going to use the flat edge of my beauty sponge and just start to buff that into my foundation.
All the shit you got me feeling. Oh, you got me waiting. Oh no, trust me, I'm patient.
So I'm actually really liking those highlighter drops. They haven't added too much glow where it's like very, very blinding. They've added a really subtle sort of shine to my skin and I really like that. I also really like the formula of them. Normally when I use a liquid highlighter, it takes off my foundation underneath, but these ones haven't at all. They've blended really, really nicely into the foundation and they've kind of just sunk in to make it look like kind of my natural oils in my face. They just look really, really pretty, so I definitely recommend those. Now I'm just going to powder up my face using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder in the shade 05 Fair, mostly underneath my eyes. I don't really want to powder anywhere else on my face just because I have already put those highlighting drops down and I don't really want to mattify over the top of them.
For some time now. Who's been searching? Pray that I ain't wasting.
So now I've powdered up my face, I'm going in with the bronzer in the shade Megastar. This one is the second darkest out of the 3 shades. And I'm going to take that on my A19 brush by Anastasia Beverly Hills and just warm up my cheeks.
Hey, I thought you were mine, but you had me twisted.
So I'm just coming back in to finish up my under eyes. I don't really want to do much under the eye because I want to keep it quite nice and summery and light like I've already got on. So I'm just literally going to go in with the shade, this one up here, I can't remember, I think it was called Sandy, the one that I used to blend out my crease earlier. And I'm just going to run that underneath my lower lash line.
You got me waiting. Oh no, trust me, I'm patient. Oh no.
And to highlight my inner corners, I'm going to take the shade Glow On, which is this really gorgeous highlighty champagne-y colour, and just take that on my inner corners and take it slightly underneath my lower lash line as well.
Feel like I'm solo isolation. I'm the victim and you ain't even know like all the shit you.
Okay, and to finish up this look with the lips, I'm just taking a nude lip liner by Melchior. I'm going to outline my lips and then I'm going to go in with one of the Hot Tropic lip glosses on top. So the gloss I've chosen is the shade Sunnies, just because it is a beautiful bronzy shade and it will go really nicely with the orange shimmer I have on my lid. I think that this is a metallic gloss, but I'm hoping it's not going to look too metallic on the lips because I'm not really a big fan of metallic glosses. So this is my finished look using the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette and also the rest of the products that came out in the bronze collection. I really hope you guys did enjoy this slightly more neutral and easier tutorial style video. A lot of you have been asking me for tutorials that are a bit easier for you guys to follow who don't want rainbow eyeshadow looks on their eyes, so I hope this one was a bit more helpful for you. My overall review on the collection is that I actually really like the products. I love the liquid highlighters. They look absolutely beautiful on the skin and they blended into the foundation really well. I also really like the formula of that gloss. It definitely doesn't look overly metallic, which I was a bit worried about because I don't actually like metallic glosses that much, but it feels really nice on the lips. It looks really nice on the lips, so that's always a bonus. The bronzers you guys already know I absolutely love. I've been using them since the day I got them anyway, so I really like those. And the eyeshadow palette I do really like. I did have a little bit of problems with with the shimmers. So like I said in the video multiple times, I do recommend scratching off the top layer with the end of your brush and then going in with the, you know, the brush end. You can also probably use your fingers. I personally am not really someone who uses my fingers to apply shimmer shades because I like to have some control over where they go. But the mattes in the palette were really nice. They blended out absolutely beautifully. It's just the shimmers I had a little bit of a problem with, but I'm sure I will use the palette again anyway. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, a comment below, and also subscribe to my channel if you are not already, because it will really help me out and I would love to have you here on my channel. You can also follow me over on my Instagram, which is at Lsgmakeup. I will leave it on screen like I always do. I'd love to have you over on there as well. But for now, I'm going to finish this video here, so thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
You got me waiting, oh no. Trust me, I'm patient, oh no. Look at the day, it's been low.